Good day, and welcome to Inner Health Through Homeopathy with your hosts Jenny Hwozdek and homeopath Dr. Stryker. Learn how to take your health where you want it to be. I'm Melissa Birch, the executive producer. Here is your host, homeopath Jenny Hwozdek.
Welcome. My name is Jenny Hwozdek. I am a homeopath and educator from Central Pennsylvania. Today's guest is Dana Ullman, founder of Homeopathic Educational Services. Over the past 20 years, Dana has co-published over 35 books on homeopathy and authored 10, including his most recent, The Homeopathic Revolution, Why Famous People and Cultural Heroes Choose Homeopathy. Dana will be talking with us later in the show. So homeopathy has been a part of the pantheon of alternative healthcare modalities for over 200 years. During this time, homeopathy's popularity has had its peaks and valleys. Certainly, its greatest golden age was during the later 19th century and during the early part of the 20th century, when there were over 1,000 homeopathic pharmacies in the United States. Homeopathic medical schools were quite popular, Philadelphia's Hahnemann College being one of them, and homeopathic physicians were in great numbers. We're now entering the next golden age of homeopathy, with homeopathy being one of the fastest-growing alternative modalities. Research in quantum physics is providing insight into how homeopathy works, and the interest and pursuit of homeopathy is gaining momentum worldwide. My co-host today is Dr. Stryker, who's a homeopath and educator from the Boston area. Dr. Stryker, can you talk to us about why doctors actually change course from strictly an allopathic practice to pursue homeopathy?
Sure, Jenny. I was in a private practice in internal medicine and endocrinology for over 20 years and started homeopathy because there were so many problems that came up in my medical practice that I couldn't help with traditional allopathic medicine. And one of the paradoxes is that some of the people who were suffering the most were the people that I could help the least with traditional medications. So I started going to homeopathy schools and ended up finishing almost 3 of them. And then I was able to start using remedies on my clients in my office. And some of the people who are suffering from severe migraines and colitis and ADD and depression and panic attacks and a lot of these really intensely symptomatic problems that would just put these people in bed or totally be destroying their lives have responded dramatically to homeopathy. So, this obviously is success inspires, even more of a practice like this, and the whole thought process is different here. With traditional medicine, we use allopathic drugs to suppress symptoms. With homeopathy, we actually like to see their symptoms as clearly as possible so we can find a remedy to match that. The whole premise of homeopathy, is that like cures like. So we really like to be able to sit down with a client and hear their full story and find a remedy that matches their entire symptoms. So that's what brought me from my medical practice over into the practice of homeopathy.
And for you, there are many different modalities out there, and I'm wondering if you have any insight into why this modality in particular appealed to you more so than herbalism or nutritional medicine, because there are certainly a lot of areas to choose from in the alternative world.
Well, I dabbled with some of these other things, and so I started studying some herbal things just informally. But, for me, the thought process with a lot of herbal medicine is the same, in a sense that, if you have depression, you can either take Prozac that affects your serotonin levels, or you can take St. John's wort, which also affects, serotonin levels and is acting on a chemical level in the body. And I also, got a certificate in the Block flower essences and studied craniosacral and, so there was and some energy healing kind of stuff. So I, dabbled in different things along the way. But when I got to homeopathy, I really began to feel that I had come across a realm of medicine that could really provide transformations in a person's life. Because if we really think about what we're doing here, when we find a remedy which is acting actually almost at an energetic level in the body, then if we really want to make changes, not just on some physical complaint, but also on the emotional level, also on, how the mind gets stuck in these repetitive patterns, how people get stuck in these repetitive, in somewhat abusive kind of behavioral patterns. If you really want to change, make a significant transformation in all these aspects of a person's life, then we need to be able to work at a level which actually transcends all those levels, or is at the basis of all those levels. And that's where we find that homeopathy is working. It's basically at that junction between, this consciousness or this energetic level and all these other more manifest levels of the body. So for me, when I really started to study homeopathy, when I really started to understand what a profound level at which it worked, then it became very clear to me that this is the modality that I could really use to help make transformations in a person's life.